Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my host over there on the other side, Angel.
Peace. How's it going?
This man said peace on this terrific Thursday. The Astros have an off day today, but I would say overall, first road trip of the season. I mean, I think you could say it was pretty well, but they went 3-3 on the road, 3 wins, 3 losses. Obviously, they lost that series against Minnesota, like we talked about earlier in the show, and now they finally got a winning series too against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, of course, we'll talk about Astros roundup. We'll give the pros and cons. The next preview, Silver Boot. The Astros could win another one. Last year they won it. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Then around the league, there's been a little bit really going around. I mean, we have cycles. We got expansion teams coming out. It's going to be very exciting. But first, Angel, give me that first word of this Pirate series. Like I said before, I think the Astros did a pretty good job. Describe that series to me, sir.
I would say relieved. Like we finally won a series. The Astros were hitting on all cylinders. Defense looked good. Pitching looked good. Besides, I have to say Christian Javier had a real start. But other than that, it was a well-rounded series. We played the Astros baseball we know and love, and I'm excited to see the young guys step up. Dubon was on fire. Jokes hit his first career home run. Alvarez and Tucker kept on hitting. Bregman seems to get hot lately, so it was a good series. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. It's relieving and it's very exciting too. The offense finally woke up. Like you were saying, Bregman looks like he's starting to get the groove of things. Chas McCormick's still doing pretty good in that leadoff spot.
I was going to
Dubon,
mention him.
my
You're right.
God. Yep, the Duboniacs are going crazy right now because he is hitting over 400, I believe. Season-wise, he's hitting over 350. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 7 through 9, the order too, we'll talk about in a minute. But yes, relief. And then the pitching staff as well. Starting pitchers, even though Christian Javier didn't have a good start, I mean, this man still went 6 innings. Framber went
Yeah.
7 innings. Urquidy went 6 scoreless. I mean, starting pitching looked great, especially the bullpen's going to need some rest days. And then today, obviously, they're going to have another one. So to get prepared for that weekend series against the Texas Rangers. But first, let's go over that recap against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And let's start off with some pros. There was a lot of pros out of this series. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a lot of cons, a lot of pros. And the first pro is the Duboniacs. Mauricio Dubon, baby, the president of the fan club here. This man's a hitting machine. I mean, he's making Altuve not even look like the leadoff hitter for the Astros. And sadly, Dubon's at the bottom of the order. But I feel like he sent the tone down there, being number 7. 8-game hitting streak, 361, 395, 839 slash line right there. He's 13 for 36 with 2 RBIs. His last 7 games, like we were saying, over 414 batting average, 12 for 29 at the plate, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He only has 1 strikeout this season, and it came from this. I don't know if it came from this series, not too sure, but only 1 strikeout. That's pretty damn good. Great
Yeah.
play discipline at the plate.
Yeah, that's really impressive. And honestly, in that first game, he could have easily had 4 hits. Andrew McCutcheon made some pretty good plays in right field. You know, he showed that he still has that range and speed to get Dubon. He was hitting the ball good the other way. 2 line shots. McCutcheon made some good plays on that one.
Yeah, I think there was one even made like a snow cone catch, I
Yeah.
would say. But yeah, I'm glad to see Kutch too. We didn't even get to talk about that in the preview from last episode. McCutcheon being back at Pittsburgh, I think since 2018. I think he decided to leave from Pittsburgh to hit free agency. But other than that, I mean, Dubon looks really good at the plate. He looks solid. Hopefully it continues on to the Texas series and things like that. And then, of course, my second pro. Shout out to the boys at the bottom of the barrel, 7 through 9, 7, 8, 9 hitters in the lineup. That's, either Corey Jokes, Mauricio Dubon, even some Martin Maldonado action, baby. I told you, don't let this man get hot, because when he gets hot, he's going to start hitting in bunches, just like how MLB The Show says. Jake Myers and even some David Hensley. The Hens House even made an appearance. But real quick, I just want to give out the stat line from each day from these guys. Monday, 5 for 14, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. That was from Corey Jokes, Mauricio Dubon, and Martin Maldonado. Tuesday wasn't the best, 2 for 11 with a walk. You had Jake Myers. Jokes had a pitch hit appearance. Dubon, Maldonado, and then David Hensley had a pitch hitting appearance, which helped out to get Chas McCormick to the plate to tie the game up, but obviously we know how that ended. And then Wednesday's game, 5 for 13 at the plate. The guys just stayed hot at the bottom. 2 RBIs, 1 strikeout, a home run from our hometown boy Corey Joke. Shout out to him. Friendswood native Mauricio Dubon and Yanier Diaz. He got his first sac fly, really his first RBI of the season from a sac fly. So combine that all together from that series. We got to combine it. You got to do the math right here. 314 batting average, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts. I am very impressed with that stat right there because if you remember in that Twin series, it just looked bad. I
It
mean,
was
the guys
brutal.
were just swinging and missing at everything, chasing at everything, and then looking at strikes right down the middle. But overall, 7 through 9, you just gotta love to see that. And then lastly, since we're on the topic of swinging and missing and things like that, plate discipline has been phenomenal this series compared to the Twin series. You go from that series and you had 6 walks and 40. Let me reiterate 40 strikeouts, 40
Terrible.
strikeouts in that Twin series from all the Astros in that batting order. And then you go to the Pirate series, 16 walks, 18 strikeouts. A huge, big difference right there from the guys at the plate. I think, Alex Cintron, Troy Snitker probably got with the guys and kind of told them, hey, take deep breaths when you get to the plate, do something, trying to, take your mind off of it, have a clear mind at the plate as well, because, I mean, you go from 40 strikeouts to 18. I mean, that's a huge, huge difference. But overall, these guys look good. Nothing really negative to say about this series.
Yeah, definitely. There wasn't really any cons or any like you said, negative things to look at. But I feel we could have swept that series. The pitching was the reason why we didn't win that second game. Like you said, Christian Javier didn't have his best stuff, but he did. He was a little. He still was a little productive. He had 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The 3 strikeouts really surprised me because
Yeah.
I feel Christian Javier is a high strikeout guy with his stuff. Like he's usually leading the charge in swing and misses, so that was really surprising. I guess like kudos to the Pirates hitters for adjusting and putting the ball in play. Like the command wasn't there, and
Yeah.
I feel like he has room for improvement. Something I did notice is the run game. um Christian Javier usually likes to take his time and like change up his like his reads. So like he'll do a second pause and he'll do 3 second pause, 4 second pause, and so on. But with that
Mhm.
pitch timer, I feel like he can't get in his groove because he has to be fast every single time. So that'll be interesting to see how that works moving forward. And another comment would be Ryan Presley. He just didn't seem to find it. They brought him in the ninth inning, gave up. I think he recorded what, like one out.
1 out. Yeah. I think it
Yeah,
was 1 out.
and then he gave up that walk off 3 run shot to Connor Joe, I believe. Um, eh,
G1 Bay, I think.
oh, G1 Bay. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I was in and out of that game, but I did see the 3 run shot, and it was. I mean, it wasn't pretty. I feel like Chaz gave us a good chance to win. I feel that was a motivation. Switch, and then Ryan just kind of
Yeah.
killed that vibe right there. But I mean, it was a good series overall. Not very much cons, more positives for sure. So we look forward to seeing those positive turn into that Texas series, how we did. And speaking of that series, the Astros went 7-4 against the Rangers last year. They did win the Silver Boot last year, and they actually had 2 immaculate innings in the same game against the same batters. So that was pretty impressive stuff. If the pitching holds true to what it showed last year, this should be an easy series. Like, yes, the Rangers got improvements. Right now, they're top of the division, but I still think they're little brothers to us for sure. Like, tell us about those pitching matchups.
So yeah, sadly we're not going to see Jacob Degrom. I would have loved to see at least one pitching matchup against him because it's Jacob Degrom.
I'm
Jacob
sure it
Degrom's
will
one of the
come.
best pitchers. Yeah, it will come. I mean, we're going to play the Rangers about a good million times. That's why I'm kind of shocked that you said they're 7-4 from last year. But you know, it is what it is. Friday, here it is. 7:10 start time. Friday Night Fireworks. You
Oh
already
wait,
know
I'm
how
sorry.
that
That's
goes.
your record. 7-4 is what they're at.
Oh
Sorry.
no, oh no, well that makes better sense. Like I said, Friday Night Fireworks, Friday 7:10. I'm pretty sure the stadium's going to be packed. Texas and like I was saying, Silver Boot series. So the rivalry's there. Luis Garcia is on the mound for the Astros. He's 0-1 with the 7 ERA versus Martin Perez, which we have seen a lot of, of his pitches last year, his pitching appearances. I meant 1-1 with the 2.53 ERA. Luis Garcia, I mean, he hasn't been the Luis Garcia that we were hoping from the Venezuela WBC days, but Last outing, he wasn't himself either. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. This guy got to get it together. I mean, it looks like everybody else is starting to find the things. Like Framber, for instance, Hunter Brown got better. Jose Urquidy got better. Christian Javier had one good start. We got to see that from Luis Garcia this coming matchup against Martin Perez
Do you think
because
the pitch clock has anything to do with that? Like him not getting
I,
in rhythm?
it could be, but he's been doing it for a while since December because Josh Miller had told him since December to start finding a new windup. So I don't think it could be, but at the same time too. I mean, he was using that same windup when at the WBC, and he was just lights out against these
Yeah,
hitters. Against a hard, strong Dominican and Puerto Rican lineup. So it's just gonna come. It's maybe he's just a slow starter, but I would like to see something out of this series because Martin Perez, on the other hand, I feel like it's going to be a little dangerous. And since we're talking about him, last outing against the Cubs, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Last year, though, I mean, it was shocking because we were talking about this off air that Perez looked pretty solid against us anytime he had pitched against Houston. And you look at the record from last year, from the 5 games he started, he has a 1-3 record, 3.82 ERA, and 21 strikeouts. I was shocked. I thought it would have been like a 3 or maybe a 2, just under 3 ERA. But at the same time, too, it's that Rangers offense. They didn't really have the offense last year. Marcus Simeon had a down year, and then same thing with Corey Seager, kept getting hurt, which two, we're not going to see him. He's on the IL. If you didn't see that, he with
oh
the
wow, again?
hamstring strain. He's going to be out for 4 weeks. So, I mean, Martin Perez has his days against Houston. Houston too. I mean, we've seen him so many times. Shout out to that boy Aledmus Diaz. I will never forget when he hit that grand slam against him. We're losing that game, I think 5-1, and Diaz just hit a grand slam to tie that game. But getting off topic, it's going to be a good matchup. I feel like if Garcia could get his stuff going, I feel like it's going to be a pitcher's duel because Martin Perez is going to be spot on. I feel like he pitched really well last year. He was in the Cy Young kind of voting. I think maybe at least top 10, but it's going to be good. I'm very excited to see that one. Then we
Definitely.
got and then we got Saturday. Hunter Brown, 6:10 start time, 1-0, 3.09 ERA versus John Gray, which he is 1-1 with a 3 ERA. I don't even know if we saw John Gray last year actually because him too. He's been on the IL so many times ever since he got to Texas, and I don't know if he still has it. But I mean, right now, 1-1 with 3 ERA isn't that bad. And his last start wasn't bad either. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts against the Chicago Cubs. His arsenal, he has a 4 pitch mix. 44.7 is going to be the fastball, which I'm going to be talking about this in the top two right now. 31.5% is a slider. That is a huge, you know, big percentage right there compared to his changeup and curveball. He doesn't throw that a lot, but of course he's going to throw that sometimes. 95 mile per hour fastball, and then you got the 83 mile per hour slider. And then, of course, we'll see that changeup occasionally with an 88 and the curveball at 79. So mostly his pitches are going to be that fastball and the slider. The bread and butter right there, fastball and the slider. And, of course, we talked about the slider with Jeremy Pena chasing, which he's looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Going to that 6 hole, he looks a little bit calmer. He looks more disciplined at the plate as well.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna mention that.
it's going to be very important for the guys to be on their toes and hopefully, hit this guy pretty good. Then you got Hunter Brown. What a phenomenal job did he do against the Minnesota Twins. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. If anybody had remember, that was career highs in innings, career highs in strikeouts, and career highs in pitches. He had, I believe, over almost 100 pitches in that game. He looked great. I mean, the cutter was there, fastball command was there, the 12-6 curveball was there. I mean, everything was working for him. Even Chaz seeing in center field, he said, "Man, this guy looked lights out." I'm very, excited when he pitches. I get to see what he does, and it's just, amazing what he can do with his craft. So, just needs to stay consistent. I'd say if he can stay consistent and continue staying on topic of things, he's gonna have a great year.
Yeah, and did you know that since he made his major league debut, the Tigers are the only team he's ever allowed runs to so far.
That is a great stat to know because I did not know that. I mean, how many games did he start last year?
So he
Only
started
two.
two. He started 2 games last year, and he didn't allow any. I think he allowed 2 runs to the Tigers, and then he came out the bullpen and didn't allow any runs. Then
That was from last year, right?
yeah, last year, and then he made his
Mhm.
first start this year against the Tigers. And he didn't do so well. And now in his second start against the Pirates, he allowed no runs. So far, the Tigers are the only team that he's allowed runs to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very important for him to just, like I said, stay consistent, continue pitching, location wise as well. Of course, we're working with I think he worked with Yanni or Diaz that game too. And that's that connection right there from Sugarland. I mean, these guys played in Sugarland together. They came up together. They represent the Astros at the Futures game last year in LA together. I mean, I think the connection there might be something special and something helpful for Hunter Brown too. Martin Maldonado, of course, is one of the best catchers to catch this Astros pitching staff, but if Yanni or Diaz is his go-to, I'm gonna keep him at that. It's almost like how last year I think it was Christian Vasquez and I think Christian Javier. I mean, them two were always pitching with one another, and then Framber and Maldi. I mean, it goes back all the way to Cole and Verlander as well. So if it's working, don't bother changing it. Just
Yeah,
keep it like
definitely.
that. The only thing with Diaz is he's just gonna have to continue hitting. That's the only thing for him. So, and then we move on to Sunday's game, which is a Sunday night baseball. ESPN will be covering that game, so make sure you do not put it on AT&T Sportsnet. I don't even think they're going to have the Rockets because obviously their season's over. Hopefully they get one beyond them. We're getting off topic with basketball now. But Astros wise, ESPN, you're going to probably hear Eduardo Perez, maybe Tim Kirchin on the call. But franchise, the Framber Valdez, 1-1 with a 1.89 ERA, is going against Andrew Heaney, which is 1-1 with the 8.22 ERA. And Framber looked phenomenal. He just looked really good. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. That is back-to-back quality starts from the franchise. And did you see that in the last inning, tips off his glove, gets the ball with his right hand, which is not his non-throwing hand, and just throws it at Mauricio Dubon like nothing. Like if he's thrown with his right hand for a while in the Dominican Republic.
We might have a ambidextrous pitcher on our hands right here.
Hey, I'll take it. If I mean getting that curveball from both sides on the switch hitter, it's like you have to tell the guy, hey, pick a spot. I'll match you on that. But anyway, career versus Texas, he's done pretty well. He's done phenomenal as well. I just love using that word because the Astros are doing phenomenal. Like I said, 6-3, 2.55 ERA, 77 strikeouts career wise against the Rangers, and then it just gets even better. In 2022, in 5 starts, he was 3-1 with a 1.56 ERA and 39 strikeouts. So we're going to see a lot of, carving them batters up. Most likely, too, the ground ball king himself is going to get a lot of ground ball production, and the infield's just going to have to be on their toes. Getting out of that 7th inning against the Pirates, I mean, that was all ground balls right there. I mean, ground ball to Framber, threw him out at second, then the ending double play. So I think it's going to be crucial for Framber to get the ground balls going without the shift as well. I think that's going to be another factor because you had Nathaniel Lowe, one of the guys that hit into the shifted line. Then you had Marcus Simeon as well. So I'm excited to see what he does. And then with Andrew Heating on the other hand with the Rangers, he struck out 9 consecutive batters. He beat Nolan Ryan's consecutive. I think Ryan had 8 consecutive strikeouts. So Andrew Heaney beat that with 9 consecutive strikeouts against Kansas City Royal batters. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. So, like I said, it's going to be very crucial for Framber to continue going, doing what he's doing. Heaney, on the other hand, we've seen him a lot in the AL West. I mean, he's been with the Angels since 2015. I thought that was pretty shocking because I thought he would have been on another team, but Angels 2015. So we've seen him a lot. His last outing versus Houston. This is when he was with the Angels in 2021. He picked up the loss that game, 5 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. He allowed 3 home runs, one of them coming from Jose Altuve and another one coming from Kyle Tucker. So we're not going to see Jose Altuve, obviously, but we will see Kyle Tucker. Aledmus Diaz was the other one. Obviously, he's with Oakland. But Kyle Tucker, maybe this is going to be something for him. Hopefully it does. And then lastly, I wanted to say right here, he only has 3 pitches. 3 pitches.
Oh
Thank
wow.
God. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of pitchers with 5 and 6 pitch arsenals. This guy only has 3 pitches. It's his fastball, slider, and a changeup. But the most, productive one for him is his slider right now. Slider to the right-handed batters. He is throwing it low and inside out of the box to, the hitter's ankles. So it's going to be it could be beneficial for the right-handed hitters, but at the same time too, if you're gonna have Jeremy Pena, he's just going to hold back and not swing early. If he swings early, it's going to obviously be a foul ball. But just timing is going to be key. Like Bregman, the timing's there. He's gotten his timing back. It's just patience at the plate. And then left-handed batters, obviously, that's going to go outside the zone. His changeup, he doesn't throw it a lot of the times. It's going to be usually fastball and slider. Throws it 12.8%. Low, middle, below the zone. That's obviously what the changeup is going to be. That's where you should set up your changeup if you are a pitcher, because if you throw in obviously middle in, that's going to be going to the Crawford boxes. So, them are our matchups from the Texas Rangers preview. Hopefully, the Astros do come out with the win in this series, like I always say in every freaking preview we do. But it's the Texas Rangers. It's our rival. We got to set the tone. Of course, we've heard them with all their stuff about the cheating scandal and things like that. And of course, they're becoming a better team. You got Josh Jung, Jonah Heim, Adolis Garcia, which we are about to talk about right now. He's the Astros' number one killer. If you put Cole Calhoun and him, I kid you not, they're going back to back every time at the plate. But Adolis Garcia versus the Astros, 295 career wise, 41 hits, 9 home runs, 25 RBIs, 15 extra base hits, and almost a 900 OPS, which is 868. So if the Astros are going to win this series, I think it's going to be holding down Adolis Garcia because, like I said, I mean, every time we play this dude, he always hits either the tying run or the game-winning home run. He did that a couple of times last year. So, I mean, what's your thoughts with this guy?
No, definitely. I agree with you 100%. I feel like every time he plays the Astros, just like to spark in him, and like he's always trying to one up us or trying to seal the game for them. I think it's just a little motivation, especially as the Astros are World Series champions. I feel like everybody wants to be the champion and show themselves like worthy. So I feel like every team we play this series is gonna have like a little chip on their shoulder when they play against us. It's just like added motivation for them. But if I feel like if the Astros can have the same approach they had with against Pittsburgh, we'll be pretty good. Like if they're patient, like work the count and take advantage of mistakes. I feel like Bregman did a good job at that. I think like his 2 home runs came from like pitches right in the middle of the zone. Like if we can take advantage of those mistakes, have good approaches on the plate, we should be able to come victorious in this series. But now we're gonna talk about our offensive pitching MVPs and our hot takes. Honestly, I hit this series. I
Yes, you
went
did.
3 for 3.
You did. You,
Tucker
you did.
stayed hot. Go ahead.
You
Go
did
ahead.
pretty. You did pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just
Yeah,
wanted to add that.
for sure. Tucker stayed hot. Urquidy again, 6 shutout innings, and Dubon. I said he'll get more than 3 hits. Did that in the first game. He was like, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna do this in the first game," and then continue to stay hot throughout the series.
Yeah.
So Zoe did pretty good. Like Chaz,
Yeah.
he had Chaz for his offensive MVP. He tied us up in that second game. Unfortunately, we did lose that game. Framber had a good outing. Jordan Alvarez did not hit a home run in the Allegheny River, in
I
my
was
opinion.
so hoping for that, dude. You don't know how much I was hoping for that to happen. I think one of the Pirates players hit it over. I
I,
believe
I
this
believe
series.
so. Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah, it's a new
So
week though. New
it's a
week.
new week. It's a new week, new series. So here is our offensive pitching MVP. For me, it is Bregman. Again, I think he's seen the ball well. Took hit his 2 home runs this series, and it's going to be added more. He's going to make way to those Crawford boxes. Add those numbers to the gas pump out there in the outfield for sure. Hunter Brown is my pitching MVP.
I
I
like
say
that one.
he capitalizes on that start, fixes those mistakes, and he looks sharper in his next outing. And then my hot take for this series is last year we are kind of talking about how Martin Perez kind of had our number last year. I feel like every time he pitched against us, it was a quality start. So I say the Astros offense rocks Martin Perez this
Okay.
series, and he pitches the only 4 innings. So I say we knock him out
4 innings.
four
Wow.
innings.
That
That's
that
my
got
hot
my
take.
eyebrows going right there.
Four
I'm
innings.
eye popping. Yeah, like you were saying, my offensive pitching and hot take. Chaz hit over 300. Framber, I mean, phenomenal. I think I'm like 4 for 4 with pitching MVPs right now, dude. I
Oh
had
man,
Brian Abreu, Framber. Well, yeah, Framber, Christian Javier, and Jose Urquidy. So I'm 4 for 4, baby. I love that.
I'm the
Uh,
opposite. I feel like the offense has been pretty good. Pitching has, besides Rikiti, has been terrible.
yeah, I'll take out. Like I said, Alvarez killed me with the Allegheny River home run. Would have loved to see that. But anyway, my offensive MVP is going to be Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker is looking good. He stole a base. He was tied with McCormick until McCormick yesterday stole one of the bags. Now he's leading the team in 4 stolen bases. I think he's still going to be good. I mean, he looked good in the 3 hole too. I didn't even get to mention that for Jordan Alvarez. So I think he'll continue to stay hot against the Rangers, especially. I believe he's like 299 career wise against them. Yeah, I think Kyle Tucker's going to have a good job this series. Ryan Presley is going to be my pitching MVP. If I'm 4 for 4, let's go 5 for 5. Why
Yeah.
don't you?
Okay.
And Ryan Presley did have a bad outing, and right now he has an 8.44 ERA, but he will get 2 saves this series. It's going to be
Two.
crucial. Yeah, it's going to be
Two.
crucial this series.
Okay.
Yes, he's going to have an off day today. Then you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, they got. I think the Astros are going to take 2 at least out of this series. Ryan Presley is going to be the one to get the 2 saves from these games. And then my hot take: Mauricio Dubon's just seeing the ball like a beach ball right now. Well, that beach ball is going to go either to the Crawford boxes, to the community leader sign, or to right field in the right. Well, I think it should be called King's Court. You even have Chas McCormick hitting a lot of home runs on that side. But anyway, Dubon's going to hit his first home run of the season at Minute Maid Park
Wow.
this series. So he hasn't shown the power yet. He has 2 RBIs so far this season, but I need a home run from this guy. I need a home run. All the Duboniacs, of course, they're waiting on it. President of Fan Club 2 is waiting on it. I think this is a great opportunity for him to do it this series.
Wow. I can see that happening. Again, that short. Hopefully, he pulls one, and that short ports. The Crawford boxes could come in use for those. But that's enough of Astros baseball. Let's move on to around the league. We actually have a surprise. The Rays are still
Surprise, all
undefeated.
right.
Like, I think I had the Rays coming into wild card, but right now they're the clear cut front runner for that division. Like, they're playing like phenomenal. Now I know people are saying like, oh, they played against the A's, they played the Red Sox, they're playing these teams that are um under
500.
500, but they're still baseball teams. Like, they still go out there and compete. They're still they still have enough talent to beat anybody in this league. So that's even more surprising. Like, the Rays are 12-0 now. They're one game away from tying the major league record. Only the
Wow.
1982 Braves and the 1987 Brewers have started 13-0. No one has ever gone 14-0, and they have a chance to sweep the Red Sox tomorrow. I'm sorry, tomorrow, like tomorrow, right?
Well, today.
Oh, today.
Yeah, we're recording this right now
Oh,
at
you're
night
right.
time on Wednesday. So yeah, it'll be today if people are listening this morning.
Yeah. Okay. So they have a chance to sweep the Red Sox today, and if they do, I feel like we need to have that conversation where is it potential that they can tie or even break the A's 21 game straight game record?
I don't know. I don't know, right? I'm very interested to see now. Since you're saying that, I'm gonna pull up the race schedule real quick. But I mean, right now they're on fire, dude. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
think the WBC helped them a lot.
yeah.
Some the WBC has helped a lot of players. Francisco Lindor's looking good. Pete Alonso didn't get a lot of playing time, but obviously he's raking right now. I think he leads MLB with the home runs. Who else? I really can't think of anybody. I mean, Kyle Tucker's still swinging the bat pretty good. Their next games is going to be away, and it's going to be Toronto and then Cincinnati. Toronto could be the
That's me the
team.
matchup.
Yeah, it could. That could be the team to break the undefeated record that the Tampa Bay Rays have. But don't give nothing. Don't. These guys are doing great. I mean, pitching, like I said, is there. Hitting is the only thing, and right now hitting is showing up. Randy Arozarena is staying hot like always. Cowboy Randy. But like you're saying with the A's 2002, shout out to Brad Pitt and Billy Bean from Moneyball right there. So, but yeah, I think the Rays are a good team. I think that's why I said like a long time ago, and I'll continue saying it until they get their undefeated record breaking. Well, not breaking, but broken. That they're gonna hit at least a wild card. If they, I still think the Yankees are gonna be in the AL East division winners, and I feel like the Rays could be the number one wild card spot.
Hopefully, I don't jinx it, but I'm calling it now. They go 14-0.
You jinxed it.
So, continuing on, Jordan Walker makes history. The Cardinals' top prospect is on a 12-game hitting streak. He ties the record for the longest hit streak to start a career by a player 20 years or younger, which is very impressive.
Wow.
We're talking about if Corbin Carroll or Jordan Walker would be the National League MVP, but you had Jordan Walker, I had
Of
Corbin
course.
Carroll. I feel even though with this 12-game hit streak, I feel like they're still neck and neck. Like Corbin
They're
Carroll right
neck
now
and neck.
has more home runs. Um
Oh man, I'm pulling the stats up real quick on my
the reason I
fantasy.
know is because I have Corbin Carroll and he hit a home run to make it three. Jordan Walker has two,
So
which
right
is
now, Corbin Carroll right now is 233 batting average, 6 runs, 2 home runs, four
three home
RBIs,
runs
five.
now.
Oh, 3 home runs.
Yeah.
So now his RBIs go to 6 RBIs. Stolen bases, I think that's where you're gonna get Jordan Walker. He has 5, and let me see. What I got, like I said, I got Walker on my fantasy team. He is 326, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 1 stolen base. So yeah, I agree. They could be neck and neck. Um, Obviously, it's too early in the season
Yeah,
to
it's a
figure
small
out who's
sample
gonna win it.
size. It'll
We're just
be go
we're
ahead.
just competitive about this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who like steps up and like who like puts himself aside as the front runner for the uh rookie of the year. Like right now, I feel like again I'm sticking to what I who I picked. I feel like Corbin Carroll has the highest chance. I know you're sticking to who you picked in Jordan Walker, but it'll be fun to see.
I mean, the
And then
D-backs are hot too. Speaking
yeah,
of real quick with Corbin Carroll, they're 8-5 right now, dude.
yeah, and
That's
they
pretty good.
actually took they played the Dodgers a 4-game series, and they took three games out of four against the Dodgers. Like they're pretty
Beware of
good.
them rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
Beware
they're
of them
pretty good.
guys. Hmm.
And then some big news coming from Major League Baseball. Utah announces campaigns to bring MLB team to Salt Lake City. So this is led by a former Utah Jazz owner, Gail Miller. Now, my question to you is, which two cities do you think will get an expansion team? Like this has always been a big topic for Major League Baseball. Like they want to get more teams involved, and it'll be interesting how that shakes up the division. Like we might see the Astros go back to the Central instead of the
Central.
West. Like just depending where the teams are located. So, which two cities do you think will get an expansion team?
My two are going to be Las Vegas. And even though Utah is trying to get one in Salt Lake City, I'm still gonna go Nashville. I really want
Okay.
Nashville to get one so bad that I could go visit out there. I've heard Nashville looks really
Oh
nice
yeah,
out there too, as well, city wise. But I mean, give me your two.
I would say Nashville was one of mine as well, and I'm sticking with Utah. I feel,
Oh wow,
yeah,
Utah.
it's
Okay,
because in Las Vegas you have the Raiders already, and I feel like it'll be looking like in a
but that's
situation.
the thing. You're trying to grow the sports. I mean, they're already big over there in betting and gambling, and you got not Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. You got the Las Vegas Aces from the WNBA. You got the Las Vegas Golden Knights from the NHL. They just need an NBA team and they need an MLB team, and this is the great opportunity for them to get MLB team. So I think that's why Sin City should just go ahead and get one of these teams.
Yeah, but I would say look at the Padres. Like when the San Diego Chargers were there, many people didn't go to Padre games. Like they were a small market team.
Mhm.
You know, they would I wouldn't say get by, but their fan base wasn't as huge.
I
The
mean, you really think though? I mean,
I think so.
They had Tony Gwynn. Who else? Ken Caminiti. I mean, Dave Winfield. I mean, they had all these Hall of Famers.
No, they
You're,
did.
I mean, you're telling me they wouldn't? I mean, they even went to the World Series in one of them years.
Okay, I understand that. But when the Chargers left, they started becoming this big market team, signing guys like Manny Machado long term, bringing in Juan Soto, making all these like trades that cost so much money because they're the only team there. So
Okay.
I would say Utah, Nashville. There's no like yeah, you got like the Utah Jazz, right? But you don't. I
Mhm.
feel like having a football team just brings in like more people in there, and I don't know. I feel like
You said
uh
football for Salt Lake for Utah.
yeah, I feel like Las Vegas already has a football team, they have a hockey team, so that takes away from people going to go see them. Like I get it, they're two different seasons, like, but I don't know. I just feel like more money goes to football.
I'm trying to figure out how many players are from Utah because I know Las Vegas. You have Bryce Harper, you got Chris Bryant already from there, and that could be
Yeah.
potentially, which I highly doubt. Bryce Harper is going to go because that contract is massive. He's going to stay in Philly. But you got Chris Bryant on the other hand. I think he signed a 6-year deal with Rockies, and he's on his second year, which never you never know. But looking at the players right now, coming from the state of Utah, there is not one player I know on here. Being honest with you, um, yeah, I really don't. Joe Barlow, I don't.
No,
Is that the guy from Kansas City, the closer?
it might be.
Or no?
Like I could be wrong though. I don't think his name's
Yeah,
Joe.
no, it has a guy named Joe Barlow right here. So, um, yeah, I don't know, but I do like Utah too. Of the fact of the background of the baseball field. You got the beautiful mountains. I like Colorado is one of my favorite go-to stadiums. Coors Field is so pretty. If you're anywhere you sit in the bleachers or in one of the seats in the 400s, it's so like even especially when the sunset's coming down, dude, it just looks so nice with the mountains in the background. But yeah, I'll go with Las Vegas and Nashville.
Yeah, I'm surprised Lorenzo remembers that game. I I heard he chugged two beer bats at the game, so he was pretty
Nah,
gone.
that wasn't Coors Field. That was San Diego. San
Oh, that was San
Diego.
Diego. You're right. You're right.
Shout out to the people over there in the Friar Faithful. That's what that beer is called. Friar Faithful IPA. So if you no swing it Friar, my fault, guys. IPA drink. You got to get a beer bat. I'm all about beer bats. I got one from the Padres and I got one from Atlanta. So Petco Park too is just one of the most prettiest venues in baseball.
Now, moving on, we have officially all 30 teams have a player that has hit for the cycle. The Miami Marlins were the only team that had not had a player hit for the cycle until now. Luis Suarez gets the first cycle of the 2023 season. He was a former um, batting title winner, and on Tuesday night against the Phillies. He hit for the cycle. He's the first Marlins player to do it in franchise history. And again, how I mentioned, he was the only player. Miami was the only team without a player to hit for a cycle until now. So that's pretty impressive stuff right there.
That's
And then
shocking though too. At the same time,
and then this is going back to that Pablo Lopez trade and this
hmm
Luis Ross trade. I feel like turns out it was an even trade after all because
yeah, both are winners out of this actually.
yeah, Pablo Lopez is shoving out there in Minnesota, and
Mhm.
Luis Rice, like how we said, is putting up good numbers in Miami. So that was a win-win trade for sure.
Right
And
now,
then,
he's hitting over 500 too.
oh
Just
wow,
want to
is
throw
he?
that out there. Over
Yeah,
500.
look at that. Look at that. Even trade whatsoever. But we have a beer celebration. This is, I don't know, I like it. And especially because it's in Baltimore and all of those guys are young and I'm sure they like to party, and then now they have the celebration to go along with that. So last year the Baltimore Orioles had a chain like with their logo on it when someone hit a home run or did something amazing. Now they have a beer funnel as their new home run celebration. So, and then as well as a sprinkly celly if they get an extra base hit. Like that's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Like
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
I love it, dude. Oh my god, Baltimore. I would love to go to an Orioles game just to see that actually.
Yeah,
But they're playing relaxed too. If you really see them playing, Ali Rutschman's hitting pretty damn good for them. Ryan Mountcastle just had a 9 RBI
that's
day.
crazy.
Just I think Tuesday night, beating Alvarez for the lead in RBIs in MLB. But I'm all for the beer funnel, dude. I think you need to, that's what gets fans going, the excitement of baseball. I mean, the new generation's trying to get the fun out of these players, and you're seeing these home run celebrations with the Pirates got their little sword. Obviously, we said with the Orioles with their beer funnel, the samurai hat from the
Oh
Angels,
yeah,
if they ever hit a home
that
run.
actually looks amazing. Like I like
Yeah.
that
So
samurai hat.
so my question to you is now, what is your favorite home run celebration so far? You if even from right now today in the present or from the past, I mean, what has been the home run celebration you like so far?
I would
Yep.
say This one actually, I really like it. I feel like it's fun. It gets the people going,
Hmm.
and it's just something cool to see. And I was gonna add, the Orioles are winning baseball games, like, and they're
Hmm.
winning them like leaving no doubt. And this is all with Cedric Mullins struggling, like
Yeah.
Cedric Mullins, which is has been their best hitter the past 2 years, is batting 174, and it's all
Wow.
these young guys stepping up, like. So that's gonna be a fun team to see this year. But going back on topic, what's your favorite celebration?
I mean, you take mine. I think the beer celebration is probably one of the most coolest things I've seen. But I think too the samurai hat from the Angels. I think that's pretty cool actually because you had last year you had the cowboy hat, which I mean I don't know who's a really who's a Texan out there to have a cowboy hat, but now you're bringing Shohei Otani's culture into the dugout, which is pretty cool. You're bringing really Japanese baseball fans into the stadiums and watching them on TV as well. You put the samurai hat. I mean, that's pretty cool. And you just need
Yeah,
two swords, and next thing you know, you're one of them. You're a samurai. So, I mean, you could get the two bats. If anything, I think that if they added bats
they're pretty
to the
cool.
celebration, I think that would be pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, baseball right now, it should be at its peak because of the celebrations we're getting. The new MLB rule changes, which is trying to get new fans into baseball, and the players just make it more exciting as well. So I think getting off topic from that, I think the samurai hat's going to be one for me.
I like it.
But that is all for today's show. Continue to follow us at Full Steam Ahead on Twitter, on your not Spotify, but your podcast platform as well, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to Google Podcasts, and as well subscribe to us on YouTube. This is our fourth, fifth episode. Like we said, we're still brand new. We're posting some shorts here and there as well as TikTok too. Full Steam Ahead on TikTok. The Astros are coming into town for a 6 game series, I believe, with the Rangers and the Blue Jays. So, and we'll maybe have some interviews out there for y'all. We'll send it to our Twitter account and our TikTok account. But Angel, you got anything else before we sign off?
No, thank you for listening again. We do this for y'all. We're we do this every night so we can give you the best Astros and baseball info out there and keep you updated on everything. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So we will talk to y'all at the conclusion of the Texas Rangers series. Hopefully, we'll get that episode out on Monday morning. If not, we could have it for Tuesday because Sunday is a Sunday night baseball game, like we said. At It's going to be on ESPN at 6:35, I believe I had mentioned earlier in the show. But stay safe out there. Have a terrific Thursday. Go Stros. We'll talk to y'all guys later.